The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, was announced as the new patron of the Rugby Football League and the Rugby Football Union, roles previously held by her brother-in-law the Duke of Sussex. Announcing the appointment on Twitter, the post was accompanied by a video of Kate, dressed in exercise gear, showing off her skills with a rugby ball in the grounds of Kensington Palace, alongside clips of stars across the men's and women's game. The Duchess of Cambridge has become the first member of the royal family to take over one of Prince Harry's patronages, after being announced as the new figurehead of England rugby. The Duchess of Cambridge has a keen interest in sport, playing tennis and hockey from a young age, and is a firm rugby supporter as well, watching England games with the Middleton family before her marriage to Prince William in 2011. Swarthy Kate, 40, donned official England rugby £50 pants and £50 zip-up top as she joined England players for a training session at Twickenham, hours after she was confirmed as the Duke of Sussex's replacement. The Duchess has been appointed patron of the Rugby Football League and the Rugby Football Union by the Queen in the first move to rescind the royal patronages that were stripped from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex following Brexit. Competitive Kate looked delighted to be stepping into her brother-in-law's shoes and giggled, laughed and smiled her way through this morning's drills, led by head coach Eddie Jones. Wearing her hair swept back into a high ponytail, the mother of three was in her element as she tore across the pitch, joined in a scrum and even scored a try. The Duchess, known for her love of sport, flashed a smile as she ran towards the try line and threw her arms up in celebration. Wearing an England rugby team outfit and studded shoes, Kate took to the pitch with the players for two special skills sessions run by head coach Eddie Jones. While training with the female team, she was even spotted passing the try line, which prompted her jubilant celebrations. Acknowledging other players were going easy on her, the Duchess was heard joking, "If only it was that easy." The Duchess then joined another training session, this time with the men's team, during which she was taught how to score a conversion kick. And she burst in hysterics after being lifted into the air while trying a line-out. During her first visit to the England teams as patron, Kate was also given as presents 3 little team kits for her children Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. The Duchess's first public engagement came just hours after Kensington Palace announced Kate had been appointed patron of the FU and Rugby Football League (RFL). These positions had been held between 2016 to 2021 by Prince Harry, who had to relinquish them in February last year after he and his wife Meghan confirmed they would not return into the royal fold as full-time working members of the firm. Kate is the first member of the royal family to have been passed on by the Queen. The patronages relinquished by Harry and Meghan. These appointments fit in perfectly with Kate's advocacy for the benefits sports have on the mental well-being of children and adults alike. Moreover, it is compatible with her love for rugby, as the Duchess is known to have grown up watching matches with her family. Kate's trip to Twickenham Stadium was hugely welcomed by supporters of the firm. One Twitter account, called the Cambridges, wrote, "This is the perfect way to start her journey as the new patron of the Rugby Football League and of the England rugby." In the past, the Duchess was spotted cheering for the Welsh team when it clashed against England, such as during the World Cup in 2015. But, as England and Wales are to play against one another on February the 26th as part of the Six Nations Championship, Kate and Prince William are now expected to side by their own patronages. Kensington Palace said on Wednesday morning Kate's new appointments closely align with Her Royal Highness's long-standing passion for sport and the lifelong benefits it can provide. The Duchess herself marked her new roles by sharing a clip on Twitter showing her passing the ball to England players. Harry himself took over the patronage from the Queen in 2016. But Buckingham Palace made clear that the Queen had no choice but to ask Harry and Meghan to relinquish their ties with the charities and organisations she had given them due to their decision to pursue commercial careers. The palace's statement, released last February, said their honorary military appointments and royal patronages would be returned to Her Majesty before being redistributed. Until now, no member of the royal family has been handed one of the Sussex's patronages. Some suspect the Queen did not want to risk antagonizing her grandson, who has spent much of the past 2 years taking pot shots at his family from across the Atlantic. But with the Six Nations Championship coming up this week, the need for a figurehead was pressing. It is also expected that the Queen may now start to redistribute more of the couple's dormant patronages. For Harry, these include, in addition to his ex-military affiliations, the presidency of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust and the London Marathon Charitable Trust. Meghan also had to hand back patronages with the Royal National Theatre and the Association of Commonwealth Universities, as well as her vice-presidency of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, is tipped to make history, as she is a popular choice for a prestigious position never before held by a woman. Russell Myers, the Mirror's royal editor, discussed the possibility of Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, taking over Prince Andrew's honorary military titles following reports the Grenadier Guards are keen to have her on board. The move would mean Kate would be the first female colonel appointed to the role and would also mean she would don military uniform at certain engagements. Mr. Myers said the Queen wanted to dish out the rescinded titles from Andrew to the immediate members of the royal family and remarked she had a lot to sort out with the unfulfilled roles. Speaking on Pod Save the Queen, Mr. Myers talked about Andrew losing his titles and how they would be divvied up between members of the royal family. The royal expert looked at the role Kate could play. He said, it could create this historic role for her by becoming the first female colonel. Whether she would take on one of the rugby league patronages that Harry used to hold, obviously William has the rugby union patronage in football. The royal expert discussed the patronages issue before Kate was appointed as patron of the rugby union on Wednesday after taking it over from Prince Harry. Mr. Myers also discussed a rumour he had heard regarding Andrew and whether he would get back his titles if he is cleared in court. The Sunday Times reported a senior member of the Grenadier Guards said, from straw polling through the ranks, they would all love it to be Kate. We all admire the way she has fitted in and behaved. She never seems to put a foot wrong. Everything she has taken on she really commits to, and we want someone who will really engage with us. If Kate is appointed to the role, it would make her the first female colonel in the regiment's 366-year history. Prince Andrew was stripped of his military titles following pressure from servicemen who felt uncomfortable toasting his name. Grenadier Guards veteran Julian Pereira called for the Duke of York to step down and said, being allowed to retain his role as Colonel of the Grenadier Guards and other military titles, Prince Andrew will put a stain on the regiment's proud history. Buckingham Palace said in a statement, with the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen.